Okay, now that I have been notified by YouTube that I am live, okay, we are live for Coffee and a Weather Map on YouTube today. I didn't tell anybody. I know it's probably one of those things I should probably do, which I will in the future, but I am testing out this new software to see how well I am getting out. So far, everything looks pretty good. And I am got a nice little switcher piece of software here that's helping me go through this. This could be a little bit janky though. So to get out of all of what I'm talking about right now, let's just keep on moving. Okay, so with a cut, there we go. And just wanted to kind of give everyone an idea of what's going on around the area. There's an area of low pressure in the upper atmosphere just off of the jet stream. Actually, it's a little north of that southern branch of the jet stream there. Right in the lower Ohio Valley, mid-Mississippi Valley, about the area where our boat is. Oh, pretty close, or at least some friends of ours are. And then there's a big area of high pressure up over the upper Great Lakes. It's kind of formed a little bit of a block. Part of it is also due to the fact that Hurricane Melissa is kind of a block. So everything is just kind of slowed down here. That will change, though, over time, over the next few days as Melissa turns to the northeast and then heads out over into the open Atlantic. We'll talk a little bit about more of that here in a bit. But to give you an idea, then, what we are looking at next is, or at least on the short term, for the rest of the day here, and this is one of the neat little things that I can do now, is write while I'm doing all this stuff. This area of high pressure, let's change this to blue, is kind of got things kind of bottled up in here. Winds over the next couple of days should be at least for the next day or so, maybe on the low side and out of the east with that high over there. That will change over time. Otherwise, it's been a pretty nice day up here. All the rain is from that upper level system that's up here, that's in this general area. Let's just change the color here. In this general area, there's an area of upper level low pressure, as we just saw, and that's what's causing all the rain in this general area. So, to kind of give an idea of what the forecast holds, I'll just kind of look at, did I get the right one for Wednesday? Nope. There's the one. Wait a minute. Yeah, today's Monday. Okay. Cut. There we are. All right. Weather for Monday. All right. This is the one I wanted. So we've got that area of rain that's up there in Kentucky, Tennessee. Otherwise, in the upper Great Lakes, it's been pretty sunny actually here in Grand Rapids, where I happen to be currently. There's an area of low pressure there over South Texas. That will eventually cause some help to get some showers going probably a little bit later in the week. But this front that you're seeing up in the Rockies, partway into the northern plains, that's going to be South Texas is going to have things happen here in a bit, where they're looking at the temperatures dropping. Now, as you see for tomorrow, that area low pressure and the rain starts to redevelop in the Ohio Valley and mid-Mississippi Valley. We won't get anything necessarily up here in Michigan for a little bit, but the rain does start to evolve down there in South Texas as well. I'm basically covering like a good portion of the country right now because of all the things that I am trying to do with the boating community and the kind of permanent lower Michigan, South Texas format that I have done here as well. So this one is for the wrong date. Let's try this again. There we go. Wednesday to Thursday. Eventually, the cold front goes through Texas and the temperatures will take quite a dive. Currently, they're at record levels in the lower to mid 90s in South Texas, but they're expected to go down into the upper 70s, lower 80s here coming up, which is more of the fall type temperatures that South Texas gets. We could see rain coming up here in Grand Rapids. Places north, probably not so much, as that low kind of takes the same sort of thing. We'll take a look a little bit at the computer model forecast here in a bit. That will kind of help put an idea on it. Anyway, but back to, I don't know, I kind of jumped ahead of myself there. Wanted to show, this didn't start looping. Oh, I know why. Here it is. Okay. All right. So, just wanted to kind of show with the current current setup that we've got going around the area, and I think I should probably bring this back real quick here. We'll just cut back and forth. You can see the area of all the fronts kind of laid out here across Florida, through the Gulf, up the Rocky Mountains into the plains. And that is generally, as we cut then back to this, you can see that same general area. The one thing that's missing is that area of low pressure, that upper level low, which is right in this general area. So this kind of helps us see with what's going on. You can kind of see that rotation going around this. The back side of this is getting pretty dry. So the rain has been falling apart here over the last couple of hours, as the rest of this continues to move off to the northeast or east, depending on where you are in the country. So far, nothing really has gotten much. This is all basically low cloud and fog, which has been starting to evaporate here now that the sun has come up. All right. Yes. So that leaves us with, we're going to talk a little bit about by using using the WPC forecast graphics, but here's the actual model expecting to move through. And we can kind of open this up here a little bit. You can see the area low pressure, and the rain moves out initially, and then it's dry for about a day or so, and then the next system, and this is in 3-hour increments as it goes along. Eventually, there's the stuff that moves out to the east, and then here comes the next system. Kind of goes and then moves out to the east as well. All right, so that's what's basically the idea that's going to happen. Temperatures probably aren't going to really go far, but we are in another at least marginal threat for excessive heavy rain coming up for the areas that are south of St. Louis over into the Tennessee River. So that will be something, debris will be something that we'll have to consider as well. And I don't know if it's going to be so much with all the rain that we've gotten. It'll just probably make things worse than what we've already had. That's just what we're going to have to contend with over the upcoming days. All right, so just trying to take a look at things here. Oh yes, okay, let's go to Melissa. I talked a little bit about Melissa, how the hurricane kind of stops up things. There's kind of a symbiotic relationship between hurricanes and the jet stream in North America. What ends up happening is that sometimes the jet stream will start to buckle, and then eventually it'll push that hurricane out of the way. But first, it's got to keep moving to the east, and it'll kind of slow down the waves in the jet stream before it kind of goes through. So the timing of this is what's happening. Currently, Melissa is a Category 5 hurricane. It's a major, so anything above a Category 3 is a major hurricane. Hasn't quite started its turn to the north yet. It was still kind of moving to the east, to the west at about 3 miles an hour. You can kind of see that there. It will start to move to the north and then generally take this track. Now remember, this cone here is an error cone. So the center of circulation could end up being anywhere within that. But that means that hurricane force or tropical storm force winds are going to be radiating out around this. In fact, this here is the tropical storm force, the extent of the current tropical storm force winds. So just keep that in mind. This whole area of the Bahamas all the way down to the Turks and Caicos has currently a hurricane watch. Jamaica, all of Jamaica, and then also the east end of Cuba all has a hurricane warning currently. And the Dominican, or at least Haiti, has a tropical storm force warning. They've already been hit pretty heavily right here along the southern part of Hispaniola with lots and lots of rain, over 20 inches in some places. And I think they were expecting almost 40 in some place right around here in Haiti. That is also going to be the case for Jamaica as well as this goes through. Not to mention the fact that that area of Category 5, 4, and 3 hurricane force winds, which will generally be right around in this area. And now everything's getting a little bit, we'll clear this out, generally in this area here. Then a tropical storm force will probably be out in this general area. So just be prepared if people are, or in that area, that they need to be having to enact their plan of what's going on. All right, get back here. Just to kind of give you an idea, here is, got to go to the movie. Cut, and there's Melissa there. You can still see that the eye is kind of moving there off to the west, like this. It will start to, it is slowing down. It eventually will do something like this. This is the general path of what it's expected to do. So just be aware of that. That's where, at least that's what it is. But it does have Category 5 winds in it, at least the estimates are. It's hard to measure this. They did have a dropson from one of the Air Force planes that went through there that showed that it would have at least 150 knots, which is 165 miles an hour, I think, something like that, for sustained winds. And that's right here around the eye, just on the outside of the eye there. So, and then to give you a broader context of where this is, here is Melissa and Jamaica and all that. Oops. I need to go back there. There we are. This is the general path of what's expected to happen. Okay. Back to pictures. Did that one. Okay, so let's sum all this up. First we'll go through, I was talking a little bit about South Texas. You can see that those temperatures here for today and through Tuesday are going to be in the 90s, mid-up 80s there along the coastal bend. In Corpus Christi, Port Lavaca, it's close to 90 in Refugio, which isn't too far from Victoria, and that's going to be in the mid 80s as well. Rockport on the coast is going to be in the mid 80s. But then you notice that Wednesday, look at that, lower, or not lower, but mid to upper 70s for high temperatures. Thursday, we start to approach 80 again. We get into the mid 80s again on Saturday. That's much more fall weather for South Texas this time of year. The minimum temperatures, though, look at that, 40s, below 50 degrees. That's I'm not sure that that's happened yet this year, so this will be something that will definitely be felt, and I know a lot of people down there are looking forward to it. Okay, for northern Michigan, because I haven't had a chance to really gather a whole lot, I've been just going through and using the graphics from the individual offices. So here's today in northern Michigan, lower to mid 50s. And that will start to creep up to almost 60 by Wednesday before the next front comes through and we end up with 50 to 55 again, and then mid 40s to lower 50s for Friday. Then downstate in the Detroit area, looks like pretty much kind of the same thing, just a little bit warmer with lower to mid 50s. The Detroit office only went out through through Wednesday, but temperatures will probably generally fit with what the Gaylord office has there as well. Maybe just a few degrees warmer. All right, so to go on into the loop areas that we are looking at. Out of the Paducah office, here's their graphic. It's going to be fairly wet here the next several days. As I said, the rain kind of ends here for a bit today. It's going to be coming back a little bit on Tuesday. It gets really much heavier there on Wednesday. It starts to be really breezy, especially then Thursday after the front goes through. Then looks like Friday, things should start to clear out again. And temperatures will be in the upper 50s to mid 60s across their area. Now the Paducah area, they cover up through at least Cape Girardeau on the Mississippi River, and they cover all the way over into Evanston, or not Evanston, but Evansville, Indiana, off to the west, off to the east. So just be aware, their area is fairly large, but it's not too bad with what you're looking at. That area of Grand River, Kentucky, which is where Green Turtle Bay is, that is one of those, not too far from the Paducah office itself. So, temperatures, you look at those temperature ranges, that's what we're expecting. Just to kind of give you an idea, here's for the city of Paducah, if you're going to be getting in there during the next week. You can see things will be cloudy today, there is a 20% chance tonight, then becoming partly cloudy. Then we have the chances for rain with the heaviest, or the best chance there on Wednesday. Then it filters out. But notice this, the winds are sustained around 10 miles an hour. That means probably 9 to say 12 or 13 miles an hour sustained. Gusts probably around 20 mph as opposed to knots, but still it's going to be pretty breezy. Going to be have issues there as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, then things start to the winds start to ramp down. Things start to clear out. There is another thing that may try to come through on the 2nd. That will be something that Mary and I will have to pay attention to. Winds do start coming up a little bit on the 2nd, if that is the day we go. And Paducah is in the lower to mid 60s, a few mid 50s there, as the rain is heavier on Wednesday. And just to show, this is Grand Rivers. So for those of you who have gone up to Cumberland and the Tennessee, and in Kentucky Lake or Lake Barkley, this is the general idea with what's going on. Not much different from what the Paducah forecast itself has. All right, with that, I am going to sign out here. So have a great day. I will have recorded this, so I will put this out here shortly as a video on Facebook and my I think TikTok. I can do it on there too. Maybe